Can you show us how you do some of those skies that you do that look really good in your presentation pictures?
Sure, like the final renderings that we do?
Yeah,
like
how you put a sky in that.
Okay, well, typically what we do is we use Lumion. We take our SketchUp model into Lumion. And in case you don't have Lumion, let me just make a few comments on how you can accomplish a sky in SketchUp. Of course, you can always go to your styles under Windows Styles. Windows Styles, and then you can edit your style. And that third one in is Background Settings, and you could turn on a sky and get like that color sky. So that's just kind of a simple vector color fill sky. Another option would be you could let me open up a different model. Actually, this would be a good one for Pontiac. Another option is you can use something called a sky dome. If you check out Form Fonts, I was just on there. I think they have some sky domes. So a sky dome is a picture of a sky that's been applied to a like a hemisphere, half a sphere, and that way when you place it in your model from any direction in SketchUp, you kind of have this sky. So you can also search for these on the 3D warehouse. But let's grab this one, and then I'll show you how skies work in Lumion, because that's really cool as well. So I'll just click on log in. I am a subscriber. Form Fonts is a great resource for downloading all. Right, so we're going to download this to my desktop temp. I'll save that. All right, so this is a project we're working on right now, and what I can do is go to File and choose Import, and I just downloaded to my desktop temp folder the Sky Dome, which we need to go to our SketchUp files, and here's our Sky Dome. Okay, so you can see how big, that's my house down there, and here's the Sky Dome. So when I go in here and look at this, ideally, I still have that Sky Dome selected, so I think I'll just kind of move it down a bit. So now, anywhere I look at this house in SketchUp, you kind of get that effect of the real sky. It's kind of a little bit too dark, though. So what I tend to do is edit that. I might give it some opacity, and I might even combine the Sky Dome with my style. So I might even go in there and edit and add like a sky background, because now that can give me some flexibility on kind of adjusting the color of the sky. So that's kind of a cool effect for creating skies in SketchUp. Now, the other option, we'll take this exact same model. We haven't set this one up for Lumion just yet, but this is more of an exact answer to your question on how we create those skies that you've seen in our portfolio. So this is a scene, and I always name this scene, all caps, Lumion. And the only thing I really want to save is my hidden geometry. And I'm going to hide my trees and my people. And so everything else looks pretty good. So I can update that scene and save this model. Now, let's bounce into Lumion here and get that. This is always a little bit sketchy when we've got screen sharing happening and Lumion a little taxing on the graphics card, but I'll just give it a moment here to wake up. Okay, so Lumion is an excellent rendering program. So we'll just start a new scene with grass, just a blank canvas here. And then we're going to import our model, add a new model. I'll go to the model that we're working on now is under our active projects, and that one's Pontiac. And here's our proposed conditions model. So we'll just drop that in there. All right, and then I just need to kind of make sure that my model is lifted up off the grade. We'll do that. Pull this guy up a bit. Now in Lumion, you can see that the sky is back there. How slick is this? We just go to weather, And we can add more clouds. We can add less clouds. We can add different cloud types. So Lumion just makes it so easy to just adjust these types of these weather settings. And then even more so, I mean, just to finish this up, to show you how quickly you can come up with something really nice, we'll just add some materials here. So I'm going to add glass, really glass, grass, and water. Those are the main materials we need to add. So we'll just throw this on here and call it glass. You can see there's already these presets. And then we're going to add another one to our grass, and we call that landscape. We'll say OK. And we don't really have any water in this model, so let's go over to our landscape settings. Under grass, we'll turn on our 3D grass. And now watch the grass grow. There we go. I like to keep the size down and the grass height high. And so then, you know, of course, another real strong suit of Lumion is all of these different objects that you get, a lot of different trees. So we'll go ahead and we'll just drop something in there. And we'll just kind of click, click, click. Okay, so that looks good. And then let's render that, get our shadows kind of set up around here. So we'll go into our render mode. I'm sorry, we'll just go to our weather. You can adjust the shadows here. And then go to render mode. And then we'll render this at, if you want to render at a really high resolution, like 3,840 pixels by 2160, that'll print at a very high, a really nice clear resolution. Watch how fast this renders. Lumion is just outrageously fast. So we'll just call this one 1. And so you can see it's counting up to 256. And there's even lower settings that'll happen in like a couple seconds. So you can see how quickly you can move from a SketchUp model into a really polished rendering. That's really the power of Lumion. So that's what we use to create all of our renderings. Most everything you see on our website is rendered in Lumion. All right, so then let's, I'll open up this file so you guys can see that. All right, and then let's see, we'll go to our desktop. I always store these in the temp folder, and it's called 1. So there's our rendering, and then this is that rendering at 1:1. You can see how high resolution that is. But if we took a little bit more time and dumped some more plants in there and maybe a few people, come up with something pretty sharp pretty quick. Cool.
Wow. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Lumion, I got to say, you know, we got on board with Lumion. We represent them in the U.S., and when we got going on that, it was like jumping forward. Like the amount of efficiency we gained, it felt like we jumped forward like 10 or 15 years. I never would have expected it to be this fast, and the ability to create animation so fast. Just all the pains of rendering are just gone. And so, yeah, we've really latched onto that program. It's pretty nice. So you guys have any other questions out there? Glad to answer anything. You guys, any problems you're having or anything you've been thinking about, programs you might be wanting to buy? I find my favorite grass here.